Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle if you're new here. I shared with y'all in my last video that I'm still struggling with SIBO, and so I wanted to try eating a specific way because my SIBO causes me gastritis quite often, at least once a month, and it tends to come on when my digestive system slows down during my ovulation. If you're a guy, I know you can't relate to this, but ladies, maybe you can. And so I decided, like I said, to eat vegetables 1 week, and then I was going to eat meat on day 7, and I ended up eating meat on day 6. But I want to share with y'all what I noticed during those 5 days of eating vegetables, olive oil, and some nuts. I was eating zucchini, carrots, cabbage, a little bit of onions, and a little bit of garlic, and some bananas. I did have some berries, and I was having this coconut milk and MCT powder that I would mix together and make like tea or coffee, and I was using stevia and pink Himalayan salt, and I was doing fine on that. But then I decided to introduce potatoes, and that's when I started to experience bloating on day 5, and I think either day 4 or day 6 when I introduced the meat. And I think that was the mistake I made, was that I introduced something that was higher carb, but on top of that, I had cooked them in oil, and so there was that combination of those two, which if you have fat and a high carb together, it's a lot harder to digest, and so that's what I was experiencing. It was just harder for my body to digest that. So on day 6, I wasn't feeling as well. I felt tired, sluggish, my stomach was bloated, and so I decided to go ahead and eat some animal protein, and so I had some chicken and some cheese. And something I noticed by doing that was that the bloating went down, and also some of the inflammation in my body went down, and so did some of the weight, which was really surprising because it was just staying at this certain spot, and it didn't seem to matter if I was eating less veggies and stop eating, before 6 o'clock p.m. that I would just maintain my weight. And so, like I said, when I did that, I lost some weight, and I did not go back to eating just the vegetables, olive oil, and nuts. Instead, I continued to eat protein. I did want to mention one thing, and that was that I should have stuck it out to the full 6 days, because the reason I stopped doing the diet was because I felt tired. But anytime you change your diet, you're going to have die-off experiences, or just you're not going to feel so well because you're not eating the things you normally eat, and so it's expected that you'll feel tired. Sometimes you get nauseous, your bowels can even change. I've gotten where I needed a nap every day, and I personally don't like going through that, because every time I start needing naps, I feel like, wow, something's really wrong, because I had reactivated Epstein-Barr virus, and that basically would wipe me out. And the last time I got tested, my levels were undetected. And so to ever think that, oh, it's coming back, is somewhat frightening for me too. And so I just need to remove that from my mindset and say, like, if I'm going to try a diet, to just stick with it and know that I'm eating enough protein, enough vegetables, enough fat, so that it can sustain my body and give me what I need, and also have somewhat of a variety. Just to sustain me for the days that I'm eating only vegan type foods, and then for the day that I do decide to eat protein, that I eat enough of that to sustain me for the week. I do notice I do really well with dairy. It seems to help my digestive system some, and so it's really hard for me to go off of it for those 6 days because I also crave it. I know for sure once a week out of my cycle that I for sure am going to be eating a vegan type diet, lower in carb, and with some nuts, vegetables, maybe a green banana, and berries if I can boil them first. That helps a lot if I cook what I'm eating to remove my histamine reactions. But I do think it's definitely sustainable to be able to do that diet and just kind of rotate back and forth, as long as I'm not omitting animal protein like forever for a year. I think I'll be okay. I don't know if that will get rid of my SIBO, because the reason I am doing this diet is to try to heal my body. I am not doing this diet to remove bloating or make me overall feel well, but to get well so that I can return to a normal diet where I can tolerate all healthy foods without feeling sick, bloated, or having histamine reactions, because I'm very irritable and I work really hard on not displaying that, but it's coming out more and more because it feels like every day I am struggling with something and I want it to end. So I definitely need to seek the Lord more and work on being at peace through my irritableness, and just focus on eating the things that are good for my body, healthy for my body, and things that I can tolerate. And hopefully over time, as I'm doing this, my body will be able to kill the bad bacteria in my small intestines and my SIBO will go away. But this is a journey, so I'm trying to keep y'all updated so you know what's working, what's not working. But as of today, I am back on the vegetables because I did notice my digestive system is sluggish again, but this is the week of my ovulation, and this is basically the week right before your period. So right now I am, like I said, eating that way in hopes of I'm going to avoid gastritis, and then once this passes, I can go ahead and eat animal protein again, such as, you know, beef, chicken, cheese. And I still maintain the vegetables that I eat when I'm eating the meat. The only difference is that I seem to eat somewhat a little bit less when I'm eating animal protein, and I'm sure because that's more filling and it sustains me for a lot longer. When I was eating just the vegan foods, I was hungry more often, and it was very hard to not eat. Like, I had a lot of cravings, and so that was somewhat frustrating because I do like to eat like every 3 hours, or at least breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner, or breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I found myself eating like every 2 hours, and maybe that's because I wasn't eating enough, or like, I just don't know. I was trying to track how much I was eating, but it got to be a little burdensome, especially with, I have 8 kids and I still have to manage my home. We're gardening, we're homesteading, we raise cows and chickens, goats, and sheep, and we were doing animal pasture rotation, and so it's just kind of overwhelming because inside the house I still have to do laundry, cooking, cleaning, and it gets to be a lot. So I did start taking my supplements again because of the excess bloating. I have some bloating on and off, but not as much as I have been having, and maybe I just need to cut out high carbs period and kind of just be lower carb. But that's really hard to do because I have cravings, you know, and it's one thing to be on a restrictive diet, but to be really restricted on things is a lot harder, because on top of the reactions that I have, like bloating in my stomach, I also have histamine reactions. So even lower carb things that, like, such as berries, are hard to have because I'll start getting really itchy in my throat, my face, and my eyes, and I'll get really irritable. And so that's just not cool. So those are my struggles right now. That's kind of what I'm trying to work through. Some of the supplements I am taking are reducing my histamine reaction. The only thing is I don't know which ones, because I am taking a ton of supplements because I would really, really like to get rid of this SIBO. I'm really sick of it. I'm tired of these struggles. I'm not necessarily complaining. Like, I've still been able to do everything that I normally do. I just don't like how I feel overall in my body. Like I said, it's been harder to lose weight, and the weight crept on really fast, and that's very disappointing. I used to weigh probably 300 pounds, and I got my weight down to 136. And so to gain weight is always discouraging for me because I never want to be heavy again like I was, and every time I creep up, I have that in my mind, and that's just not somewhere I want to go. I want to maintain a healthy body weight, and to me, being in the 130s is just where I want to be for my body and my height. I'm about 5'6", and I weigh closer to 150 right now, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna be working on this some more. And if I get rid of my SIBO, I'll let you know what I did and what possibly helped, because like I said, there are a ton of supplements that I'm taking. And I basically just grabbed all my supplements that I could and started on. All right, guys, that's the update that I have for you right now. I will see y'all in my next video. Y'all take care. If you're new here, I hope you subscribe and stick around. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.